and welcome to another Chocolate. I'm Little Lou. I'm back with a slightly different haircut, and I've also changed the branding. So we are still Chocolate, as you can see. I'm still a chocolatist, but we have slightly changed the branding. I'm embracing my little Lou-ness because I'm little and my name's Lucy. So very creative as usual. What I thought I'd come back with today is the Christmas kits. So these sold really well when I sold them a good few years ago when I had my shops. And if you used to come to my shops, thanks very much. Hopefully you'll buy these again. So these are the kits that you'll be getting. We're doing a chocolate snowman melted. So it's like a, is that right? Like a blob on a blob with blobs of sweets on. Easy. Easy for everyone to do. I've already eaten that. So that's my breakfast. But if a chocolatier don't like chocolate, then what you're doing, it's like a skinny chef, innit? Don't have a skinny chef. Don't trust them. Big fat ones that eat all the food because it's so delicious. So I am doing this one, which is going to come through your letterbox or your vestibule, whatever it is. So this is what's inside for you. So you will have Belgian chocolate buttons. So these are fancy pants buttons. So these are called Chocolatier chocolate. So it's not your usual stuff. It's not your Cadbury's, but you can use Cadbury's if you want to sponsor me. If you want to sponsor me, Cadbury's, feel free. Actually, no, I don't use your stuff, but you can send me some. I always like to eat it. Anyway, this is the Belgian chocolate that you're going to be using. It is Chocolatier, so it's fancy pants even for your kids. See how look after you are. And then you've got the white chocolate as well. So the white chocolate, again, is Belgian. And this is what's slightly different in this kit, because all the other kits, they just come with the brown chocolate. And then you've got your sweeties. So your sweeties, they might differ slightly than what's in here. So you might have slightly different chocolate chunks. You might have slightly different round sweeties. So this one's got things like Skittles and little Smarties in it. But you'll always have a carrot, and that's a sweetie carrot. So that's one good way to get your veg in, kids. Still a carrot. Tell mum. And you'll always have eyeballs. You should have eyeballs anyway, otherwise you can't see what you're doing, can you? And then you'll always have something long for the scarf. And this one's got an Astro belt. I love Astro belts. Do you remember Astro belts? Proper retro. Make your face go a little bit. Which is always fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make this. I don't need these instructions. You will. I should know my stuff by now, shouldn't I? So you always get some very easy to follow instructions here. Tells you what you need, and tells you what I will supply. And you don't need anything special, and that's why I like doing these. You really don't need anything too special in your cupboards, and it's all stuff you can get from Tesco's or other shops are available, whatever. So it also has a little picture of what you're expected, what you are aiming for. And again, don't be too precious about that. It's all fun and it's all delicious, really. So I'm just going to keep that over there because, as I say, I shouldn't need these instructions. I should know what I am doing right now. So I've already melted my chocolate in my little melter over here. So I've already melted it. What you're going to do, and the instructions are in the box, as I've said, tells you how to temper it. It's a basic temper, a little temper, a tiny temper, some might say. What happens to tiny temper? Where is it? Answers on a postcard. Actually don't, I'm not that bothered. So this is the Belgian chocolate, so it's cocoa butter, which is why we kind of need to temper it a little bit. So 30 seconds in your microwave, in a microwavable bowl. Don't put metal in there unless you want a mini electric storm in there and burn your house down, which again is not the intention of this kit. So melt your chocolate, 30 seconds, 10-second bursts after that, and just keep stirring it quite vigorously. Get your exercises in. In fact, put your Fitbit on, and I'm sure that'll count as some steps. There you go. All these tips. So 10-second bursts. Wait until there's a little bit of chocolate just left in the chunk version, and that should stir out. And then you've got a basic temper. And that's enough. That's all you need. You just need it to set. If it doesn't set, it's all just a big blob of chocolate, which again is delicious, but not what we're aiming for. So I'm going to get these sweeties, all these sweeties. I'm just going to tip them out onto, can we see that there? Tip them out onto here. So what we've got is we've got our matchmakers, classic Christmas product. They've got all fancy pants flavours in these now, haven't they? We used to have, when we were growing up, matchmakers were posh. And if you had a box of matchmakers, it showed that you were a little higher class on the avenue or the cul-de-sac. You were in a cul-de-sac if you were able to afford matchmakers. Matchmakers and Cadbury's fingers. So these are orange flavoured ones because that's a universal one. But you get me salted caramel and all sorts now. So you've got 3 matchmakers in there. That's your Astro belt that we're going to use as a scarf, as you can see here. And then you've got your carrot for your nose. I'm not sure if people use carrots anymore. I think people just shove whatever they've got lying around the garden now, don't they? You get all sorts in them. And then I've just got some little chocolate chunks that are stars here that I'm going to use. And then some round sweeties. Oh, and the eyeballs. Don't forget the eyeballs. So I've melted my chocolate, as I've said. You need to melt yours in the microwave. So I've melted mine so that it will be ready, so you don't have to watch me stir chocolate, which is effectively only slightly more interesting than stirring paint. So I've made sure that this is still thrilling for you. Thrilling. So I'm going to pour this on. So you melt your chocolate, have it in your bowl, and then you should have a spoon. You're just going to use it to pour it on. It's the simplest kit I do, other than the pizzas. It's a blob. So you're just going to pour it on. So this is great for all ages. Big kids, little kids, cardboard box. Shout out to my 90s mums there. So we're just going to pop that on. And as you can see, that should make a perfect circle just pouring it on. But we don't want a perfect circle because this is a blob of melted mud. We're just going to use the back of our spoon to cover the greaseproof paper. Now you can do this in the box if you like. You can actually make all this in the box. That is absolutely fine. Where are we? So yeah, you can absolutely make all this in the box. You can make all the kits in the box. That's how I make it, so it's nice and contained for you. You don't have to do it on a slab, but you do have greaseproof paper which should help contain it. So now what we want is we want some white chocolate. So I've got my white chocolate here. And this is where the fun happens. So we're going to pop that on in a second. What I want you to use your matchsticks for is you want to break one of them up. And one of them is going to become your fingers. Chocolate fingers. Okay. So you want to break that up into little pieces. So I'd say 3 fingers. Oh, look, there's a long one there. And then we'd have 2 as the arms. Now you can have shorter arms if you want, like a little Tyrannosaurus Rex. Or you can have them as long arms. I'm little, so I have little arms, so I'm going to cut mine in half. And then I'm going to just wait for that to set a tiny little bit more. As you can see, starting to go a little bit dull around the edges. I don't know whether you can see that. You see that just here? Starting to go a little bit dull, not as shiny. Still a bit shiny here. Shiny is sticky. Dull is not sticky. I don't know what a word beginning with D means, not sticky. I'll get my thesaurus out afterwards. So as that's starting to set, see, I can see that starting to set around the edge. You see when I put my finger there? See how it's not dipping in? That is how good I am at tempering. So I'm pleased with myself there. So the white chocolate is where all the good stuff happens. So I love white chocolate. And a fun fact about white chocolate is it's not chocolate. It is literally just cocoa butter, fat, sugar and vanilla. All the good stuff. So it's got no cocoa in it at all. So that's what white chocolate is. And when it was first invented, I think it was just called a solid milk product, which sounds rank. So now we call it white chocolate, and it is delicious. So it's really good for kids as well. That's what we say. It's got loads of milk in it. How can it not be good? High in calcium, good for your serotonin and stuff. You know, just don't eat it every day. So I'm going to pour it straight out of this. You can pour it into your cup or your microwavable bowl. Again, I've just done it in one of my fancy melters. And I'm just going to pour a little bit on top here. And what you want to do is you do want it to go slightly dull. You want the brown chocolate to go slightly dull so that the snowman will kind of melt on top of it. There we go. Oh, it looks like a pizza now, doesn't it? I do chocolate pizzas as well. I do a Christmas pizza, which I might bring back again. Shall I bring it back? Yeah. So this is now your melted bit of the snowman. This is Death of a Snowman. Which is not as joyful as I intended that to be. So you're going to use the back of your spoon again. I have many different spoons here, don't I? Crikey. I'm not obsessed with spoons, by the way. I don't even like wooden spoons. I hate the textures. Anyone else, when they go to the cinema, they sneak their own plastic spoon in so they don't have to use that awful wooden spoon and get it on their teeth going. No? Just me? Okay. So we want this to not set, remember? Shiny, sticky. Sticky like glue. The most tasty glue you'll ever eat. Don't eat glue. Don't eat glue. That's not an information for you to eat glue. So I've got my little arms. There. And I'm going to plop one there. Again, very technical terms. Plop. And I'm going to put his fingers around the... Oh, I'll pop that up there. Put his fingers on there. Like so. These are effectively like the twigs that you'll have put in the side of him. That you'll have stabbed his carcass with. Oh, I'm getting very aggressive on this, aren't I? It's meant for the kids. For the children. But I'm getting very aggressive. Let's get our eyeballs on there. There we go. And then this carrot, and now there's something about chocolate and chewy, fruity things, which is just delicious. So I always try and make sure there's something chewy and fruity in the kits because it's a lovely combination. Oh, look at that. That's a proper good... Again, technical term. So we're now going to add, I'm going to use these as a bit of a smile, I think. So you can have big cheeks, you can have rosy cheeks, and we're going to have little, these are just like little mini M&Ms. How expensive are M&Ms now? Good God. Everything's so expensive now. They don't make lettuce expensive, do they? What's that about? They make all our sweeties expensive. And I'm going to use the little stars. The little stars. Again, it might differ what you get in yours, but you will get some kind of chocolate chunk in yours to use as the buttons. Now, I did used to put raisins in this, but God forbid you should put anything of a fruit variety in something that the children are going to eat. Honestly, it's like I'd put arsenic in them or something. Fruit. All right, stick to the sugary stuff, the good sugary stuff. So as you can see that when I'm pushing it in, it's starting to temper a little bit, which is exactly what we want. So I'm now going to add our scarf just to the end here, and I'm going to squidge that in a little bit. Oh, perfect, even if I say so myself. So can we see that? Oh, that's awesome. Blowing me on trumpet there. So that is pretty much almost set. So what you will be able to do, you don't even, well, it depends how you've tempered it. If you've done as I've said, and you've tempered it properly, and you've not got over keen and thought, this chocolate's never melting, and you've just whacked it up to 10 minutes in the microwave, then you probably will never get to this point where it's setting. But you should have it so that it's setting, and it will just peel off. Now, this isn't quite set, but as you can see, that is just starting to peel off there, and that's as simple as it is. So that's your chocolate melted snowman. It's great for all ages, like I say. It's great for use of bribery. I'd say you could probably get a week's worth of bribery out of this to get the kids to do their chores, eat the vegetables, or just stop being so annoying. And also use for an activity. You can go off, you can do it with them, or you go off and have a glass of wine and rock in a corner. However you wish to spend your downtime, mum, that's up to you. So that's the snowman. Hope you've enjoyed watching that. This is the kit. Everything will be available online. I'm sure at some point somebody who has better technological sense than me, because I am touchy death with technology, will put some kind of link somewhere down here. I don't know, down here, up here, somewhere. I don't know. Somebody will probably put a link to buy the product. I'll trust them to do that. I just make things that look nice and taste pretty. So that's your kit. We do have another kit coming out soon, so you'll have to follow us to watch the next one. And the next one is baubles. Baubles. Chocolate baubles. And those are a little bit more complicated than this. They're never too complicated because, you know, you need the precious children to be able to do it. But that one's a little bit more complicated and you get a few different shapes in there. So hope you've enjoyed that. So this is what you're ordering. This is what will come through your vestibule, your letterbox, whatever opening you have to your home. So make sure you are ordering that well in time for Christmas. Remember, Royal Mail get inundated, as they tell us every year, and every year people still order a week before Christmas thinking, oh, that'll arrive. It won't. Guarantee it won't. So make sure you order this. I'd say last orders are the first week in December if you're wanting this. There will be a pre-order on it, so you can order it pretty much as soon as this goes out, and it will be posted out a little bit later. So if you are doing pre-order, please don't message us saying, I ordered this in 5 days. No, it's not come. If it's pre-order, it will come out on a specific date. So make sure you're ordering that in plenty of time. And remember to enjoy chucking around some chocolate and always play with your food.
Little O! Chocolate! Little O! Chocolate! 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 Chocolate, where the fun blows up and the yum yum starts. You can whip it, dip it, make your mark with Little O.